she tried to lay out a vision for quote unquote creative economy, which I think correctly identifies the challenge for Korea as becoming more active in innovation rather than necessarily being driven by exports. She also talked, Mark didn't mention this too much, but she also talked about basically Korean spirit. And it seems to also refer to, the strength of Korean culture, which I think probably was a good thing for the audience in Korea to hear. She didn't necessarily talk that much about foreign relations, actually, in the speech, with the exception of North Korea. But I think that her remarks on North Korea are notable, especially given the relative constraint in the strategic environment that has been created by North Korea's satellite launch and nuclear test. And so she talked about step-by-step trust building, which has been one of her major themes. You know, the big challenge really from here on out is whether she can implement the things that she talked about in her speech. And there, I think that we've seen the transition and her administration getting off to a little bit of a bumpy start.
South Korea, of course, has a very vibrant economy, a dynamic society, and that's a great strength for any South Korean government. And my biggest hope for Park Geun-hye and her government is that she can play against type, both in terms of domestic, economic, and social policy, and in regard to North Korea. I think the people on the left in South Korea and others will be expecting her to take a basically traditional conservative approach to these issues. And if she can keep some of her campaign promises in regard to both, I think she has a chance of actually building more consensus than South Korea has had in the past on both domestic and external policy. But it certainly won't be easy, and we'll have to wait and see what develops.